Jablo leads us, or Jameson.
Attention, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing as Ethan Harbu plays the Star Spangled Banner. Today our second graders participated in the flag ceremony of placing the flags by the school sign to announce to the community the significance of this day. Our fourth graders shared their spirit for United States as they proudly displayed the uniqueness of each state and paraded around the halls in the annual fourth grade state float parade. We celebrate Flag Day as a symbol to all to express the level of pride, patriotism, and love we have for our country. Throughout the year, we recognize this in our flag ceremony. Each ceremony reminding us of the sacrifices and the pride in our great country. Our fifth graders led the march with the announcements of 9/11, followed by a moment of silence. Our fourth graders thanked all who served with the Veteran Day announcements. And just a few weeks ago, our third graders demonstrated much gratitude for our fallen soldiers through announcements and the playing of taps by Sam Waltzman. The lowering of our flag reminds us all of the ultimate sacrifice and service of our fellow Americans who are willing to give of themselves to keep us safe and preserve our freedoms. Our first president, George Washington, understood the importance of having a national symbol to communicate to all pride and respect in our country. Today, we gather to pay honor and respect to our greatest symbol that represents what we believe is important as a nation, as a state, as a town, as a person. Our flag, symbolized by the stars, announces to all unity we as a people feel for our great country. As Americans, we pay witness to the pride generated by our flag that represents equality for all, as well as the eternal desire to preserve democracy, liberty for today and for generations to come. Our flag symbolizes freedom revealed in the red stripes, vividness, representing the fearless courage, the bravery, the integrity of each man and woman who is willing to serve and were willing to sacrifice their lives for our country, for you and for me. Our flag represents unity with its white stripes, which signifies a continual quest for oneness as a nation where we're all treated equally. And the blue of our flag represents hope, signifying the heavens and faith, faith that unites us, faith that directs us, and faith that will ultimately bring us peace. Today, fifth graders, George Dang, Daniel Andrews, John Luca Domingo, Vincent List, and Maddie Bauer and Shalom Martha will now like to share with you the history of Flag Day.
In May or June 1776, George Washington, Robert Morris, and Colonel George Ross were asked to design a national flag. They created a draft of a flag and took it to Elizabeth Ross, who was a good seamstress. She made a flag of material to match the draft design. She changed only one part of the design and changed all the 6-pointed stars to 5-pointed stars. In 1777, George Washington presented the first flag to the Continental Congress in Philadelphia, and they accepted it as the national flag. It was 100 years later, on June 14, 1877, that we first observed June 14th as Flag Day to honor the date that gave America its first official flag. Today, many citizens in the United States fly flags on June 14th to honor the birth of the flag.
Originally, the flag had 13 red and white stripes. These stripes symbolized the 13 colonies that fought for freedom. There were 7 red stripes and 6 white stripes. The red stripes were on the edges of the flag so that the flag could easily be seen from a distance or seen by ships that were out to sea. There's 13 stars on the first flag. The white stars were in a circle on a blue background. This meant the Union would be without end. The stars were all the same size to symbolize that all the states were equal. A new star was added to the flag each time a new state was added to the Union. The red color in the flag symbolizes courage. This honors the men who faced danger and who fought courageously in wars to make America the country it is today. The blue color in the flag stands for loyalty. The color is the blue in the heavens. Many people remain loyal throughout the hardships and suffering. Many even sacrificed their lives for their country. The white stripes symbolize the land of the free. Anyone in the world can come to this country to enjoy equality and liberty. The flag should be displayed from sunrise to sunset. It should be displayed on national and state holidays. When someone important in the country has died, government and state buildings fly the flag at night. The flag should never touch the ground.
Thank you, fifth grader. Hank, would you please come forward? We are blessed to live in a country that's magnificence is defined not only by its people, but by its ray of nature. Let's share in the essence of the country's beauty as Miss Chang leads us in all singing America the Beautiful. Miss Chang?
For purple mountains majesty, all of the clear and tall
Third graders feel strongly about America and the importance of the American symbol. Let's listen now as Addison Avlo, Thea Adjit, Vincenzo Cochi, James Tropak, Mackenzie Applegate, and Cameron McMahon recite the poem, A Song for Our Flag.
The Song of Our Flag by Woodruff Flag. Your flag and my flag, in a home I could hold. Your land and my land, secure within its fold. Your heart and my heart beat echo at the sight. Sun-kissed and wind-tossed, red and blue and red. The one flag, the great flag, the flag for me and you, the glass for all else. Beside the red and white and blue.
Your flag and my flag, to every star and stripe. The drums beat as hearts beat, and the shrill pipers pipe.
Your flag, my flag, the blessing in the sky. Your hope, my hope, it never hit a lie. Lands and falllands and half the world around. Oh boy, here's our glad saloon ripples to the sound.
Thank you. Let's give our third graders a big round of applause. Each year, I invite our fourth and fifth graders to share their feelings about a great symbol. I like to begin with the Leah Dostey, who will now share her poem, Our Flag. Leah?
Our flag. Look up at the flag. We count all 50 stars, the red, white, and blue. Look how nice, waving high, waving wide. We can see it from far. Our flag, our pride. We count every star. In the sun, in the wind, in the rain. Its bright colors shine. Just look at that flag. It's yours and mine. It's our pride.
Now I'd like to invite Ishan Shah to read his poem, The War is Over. Ishan?
The war is over. The war is over. Blood drip, lives lost. I feel tears in my eyes. I let out a big sigh and look up to see the American flag flying high in the sky. I hear the bald eagles call and remember, peace is welcome, freedom is found, the war is over.
Now Leo Donato will now share his poem, The Spirit of America. Leo?
Spirit of America. The flag is waving up high. It is showing its glory from the sky. Its beautiful colors, all red, white, and blue. The spirit of America shows in you. It raises even more on a silver pipe, showing off its glamorous stripes. This flag represents the land of the free, and throughout its people you start to see. Deep down in every soul, America fills every hole.
Thank you, Leo. And now I ask if Sean Drayton could come forward to share his poem, What Amazing Colors. Sean?
What amazing colors. Red, white, and blue. What amazing colors. Look how beautifully the flag blows in the wind, symbolizing 13 stripes for the 13 colonies and 50 stars for the 50 states. It reminds me of all the soldiers who sacrificed their lives so America could be a free country. So when you see a flag, think of everyone who risked their lives so America could be a free country. I love America and you should too.
Thank you, Sean. And Amy Morehouse will now share My Grand Country. Amy?
My grand country. Flag Day is nearly here. May everyone give a cheer for a flag that proudly stands, resembling a country so very grand. We raise it by a rope and stand by it with all our hope. Forever we shall stay united as our patriotism is ignited. Flag Day is a day to be proud of our country and for us to be filled with so much glee. So when you see our flag that proudly stands, So when I see my flag that proudly stands, I'll be proud of our country so very grand.
And our last poet for today is Alexa Broaden. She's going to read her poem, My Flag.
my flag. 50 stars and 13 stripes is what my flag wears. 50 stars and 13 stripes, to no flag it compares. Decorated in 3 colors, red, white, and blue. Decorated in 3 colors, it even traveled to the moon. The red showing valor and hardiness of the work we do. The red showing valor and hardiness, the ideals of compassion that we hold true. The white showing independence of the freedom of our country. The white showing independence of which this land of the free. The blue showing perseverance, and that we always try. The blue showing perseverance, our limit is beyond the sky. 50 stars and 13 stripes is what my flag wears. 50 stars and 13 stripes, to no flag can it compare.
Thank you. Thank you to the 4th and 5th graders for sharing their talents in writing. Our 2nd graders who performed their Flag Day ceremony this morning know the significance of Flag Day and have a tremendous level of pride in the flag. They would now like to recite orally together 2 poems. The first one, Red, White, and Blue, and the second, Our Flag. Ms. McKinney, Ms. Barrett.
Tell her to turn the kids around so the parents can see them. We'll do it together. Yes.
Thank you, 2nd graders. That was wonderful. Honoring our flag is fitting. And let's listen as Lexi Chia, Sam Higgins, Johnson K, Q, Michael Malia, and Mike De Silva recite the poem, The Flag Goes By.
The flag goes by, hats off. Along the street there comes a blare of bugles, a ruffle of drums, a flash of color beneath the sky. Hats off, the flag is passing by. Blue and crimson and white it shines over the steel-tipped ordered lines. Hats off, the colors before us fly, but more than the flag is passing by. Days of plenty and years of peace. Wait up. Sea fights and land fights, grim and great, fought to make and save the state. Weary marches and sipping ships, tears of victory on dying lips.
And years of peace, march of a strong land, swift increase. Equal justice, right and law, stately honor, and our fear and awe.
Nation great and strong, toward her people from forgiven land. Fighting glory and honor all. Live in the colors to stand or fall.
Thank you. Let's give them a 4th graders a big round of applause. Thank you, boys and girls. We are blessed to live in such a wonderful country. Let's join our voices now as we praise and thank our flag, as we all join in singing, You're a Grand Old Flag. You're a grand old flag,
you're a iconic flag, and forever we say where. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home freedom and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, and the red beats on bright. May old acquaintance be forgot. Keep your eye on the grand old flag.
One more time. You're a
grand old flag. You're a high flying flag, and forever peace may wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, and the never storm brag. May old acquaintance be forgot. Keep your eye on the grand old flag.
way to go, everyone. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Being American provides us with many freedoms, one of those being the freedom of speech. Being a leader means being a model who is willing to bring others together to celebrate and assist in need. I invite our Woodruff student council officers to share their thoughts of the year gone by. We will begin with our president of student council, Connor Jakubowski. Connor?
Good morning and hello to all students, teachers, staff members, and family members of Woodruff School. I was very fortunate this year to be your school president. First off, let me tell you why I wanted to be president in the first place. When I came to Woodruff as a little second grader, my fifth grade buddy, Chris D'Amato, ran for school president, and he was lucky enough to be elected. When Chris talked about being president with me, it really inspired me, and I knew after that I wanted to be president too. This year, I was lucky enough to run for president and be elected. As president, I learned teamwork and communication are very important parts of the job. I worked very hard and would like to thank my Vice President, Sabrina Elsabaugh, Secretary Jenna Ornstein, and Treasurer Victoria Cruz. As president, I was responsible for running student council meetings, making morning announcements, helping with fundraisers, and making speeches for important topics like Earth Day. In conclusion, being president of Woodruff School made my last year here even better than I could have imagined. I have to say it is an honor and also a little sad that I am a part of the last fifth grade class that will be graduating from William Woodruff School and will be the final president of the school. Thank you, and don't forget, always give a hoot.
And now I'd like to ask our Vice President and birthday girl, Sabrina Elsabaugh, if you would come here and share your thoughts today.
Hello, my name is Sabrina Elsabaugh, and this year I've gotten the honor to be William Woodruff's student vice president, and it was really fun. In this speech, I'm going to talk a little bit about the experience, but mostly about the fundraisers and spirit days we've accomplished. So I'm going to start by talking about my favorite spirit day that we've had this year. The spirit day that I think a lot of people have liked is Pajama Day. Pajama Day is a spirit day that everyone usually always loves. It's a really fun day where you can either just wake up and not have to change, or alternatively, you can just wear clean pajamas, which either way, they're just really comfortable. Because seriously, who wouldn't like to come to school in PJs? My favorite fundraiser this year was the Thanksgiving food drive. I really enjoyed this one because the highlight of my Thanksgiving is probably the food. I can't imagine not having food for Thanksgiving. And let's be clear, I don't think a lot of people would disagree. That's why I really love this fundraiser. It gives families who won't have much food a chance to have some for this Thanksgiving. Finally, I just want to say that my experience for being vice president is probably one of the best experiences of my life. It's been really fun and exciting, and I hope you've all enjoyed me as your vice president this year. I tried my best to be the best I could be, and I hope that and I am extremely thankful that I was given the chance to do so. If there's a student council in Hughes, I would definitely recommend trying out for it. So if you do, good luck and enjoy your summer.
Thank you, Sabrina. And now I'd like to ask Jenna Ornstein if she come forward to share her reflections. Jenna?
Hello, I am Jenna Ornstein, the William Woodruff Student Council Secretary. There were many ups and downs of the school year, but the student council tried as hard as we could to make this year great. My role in the student council is to take notes at meetings and discuss them with everybody else. This is a very important job because this is when many great spirit days, fundraisers, and other events blossom. If someone has an idea at a meeting, I will be there to jot it down. Something else that is an important part of my job as a secretary is setting up fundraisers. It feels so amazing to know that you're helping out as a member of our community by donating something to a charity. We had Bridges when you brought in a lunch to help out someone that couldn't get one on their own. We gave St. Joseph's toys and books to help children that had families that could not afford these things. These small actions for us can be a huge thing for someone or something else. My message to the 3 other officers, the 8 cabinet members, and all of the class representatives, and of course Mr. McLeod, is thank you. Student council was quite difficult this year, and all of you were able to pitch in and help. I can't thank you all enough for that. I enjoyed my time here at Woodruff and my time in student council, and I am so thankful for being able to do what I do as the William Woodruff School Student Council Secretary. Thank you all for giving me hope.
Thank you, Janet. And the last person I'd like to invite forward is our treasurer, Victoria Cruz. Victoria?
As you know, this year has been very weird. The staff is trying to make it as fun as possible. The student council also tried to make the year fun. One of the main things we did this year was the Penny Wars. The Penny Wars was a competition between classes to raise money for the Plainfield Humane Society. We raised $557. We raised so much money for this charity by making donating fun with the family competition. We ended up raising $557.78. It took a few months to count. All of the times the student council missed recess, brought money home to count, or counted in the morning to get this Penny Wars finished was all worth it for seeing the end total. As the treasurer, I ran the operation, but the counting still wouldn't be finished if I had done this by myself. Everyone helped out no matter what they contributed. If it was Spirit Days, the talent show, the Penny Wars, or helping counting, all of this work was appreciated. As my last year at Woodruff, I'm very happy I got the experience of being in student council every single year to now being the treasurer of the entire school. I know I will always remember this time.
Thank you, Victoria. And we have to thank someone most especially. It's the person that was willing to step up to bat to do student council this year. It's a very, very hard year when you're starting off and you have hybrid and you have remote and you have in class. To put yourself out there in another direction during this last year is a very difficult thing for anyone to do. But we have a person here on staff who is willing to do that, go the distance, make the connections, make the kids feel good about their ideas, make them come to life. The talent show was one of those examples, and that's how we found out about Ethan's talent of playing the guitar in the Star Spangled Banner. We want to thank a big give a hoot shout out to Mrs. McLeod. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
Today is the day of celebrating our celebration of our country. And at Woodruff, it's also a day of gratitude and Thanksgiving. Today, as a community, we respectfully thank our leaders of the PTO who are teachers and paras in the classroom who will not be returning to Woodruff School in the fall. With the changes in the fall also came a change in the leaders of the PTO. For the past year, the PTO board has been exceptional in their desire to ensure that every Woodruff child and family feel welcome, supported, and pleased by the experience at Woodruff School. The level of commitment takes a great actions in normal times and takes monumental actions during a pandemic. The first person I'd like to honor is Mrs. Miguez. Are you here, Mrs. Miguez? Oh, great. Miguez has served as our corresponding secretary. She's been responsible for sharing out the notes and letters of thankfulness. She has played a major role chairing the yearly bike rodeo and has been available to share her time and talents on so many different PTO committees over the years. Mrs. Miguez got involved in Woodruff from the moment her oldest daughter entered the school and has remained committed to the school each and every day. Her love of Woodruff always present as she lends a hand to support. Mrs. McGuez is thanked for her willingness to serve, her leadership, her care, and her unending devotion for Woodruff. Thank you, Mrs. McGuez. Thank you for always giving a hoot. Mrs. Lozado, are you here? Come on up, Ellie. You can take it on. Maddie, come on up. You can take it on. Oh, Mom's here. Well, that was a surprise for them. Mrs. Lozado has held the role of treasurer for many years. Her position is a significant one in ensuring that every idea, project, and vision can be carried forward. Her responsibility as the treasurer has her developing a PTO budget, working with the board to determine how to allocate money to each area. She's responsible for ensuring the funds are there to meet the demands. Mrs. Lozado's insight, understanding of accounting, and her desire to support Woodruff School is always present. Mrs. Lozado, there's no question that everything you did as treasurer always added up and calculated our success. Your commitment is multiplied over the years based on the many, many committees and board positions you've held. Thank you for always giving us the green light to make that special program occur. Thank you, Mrs. Lozada, for your willingness and your kindness over the years. Thank you for always giving us. Ms. McGuez, I have a give a good sticker for you. I'll come back to it. Sorry about that. Mrs. Gowan, could you kindly come forward? Mrs. Gowan, our vice president, has played an integral role at Woodruff School over the years. She served on the board as co-president. She served on the board and has had many chair positions over the years. She's been involved in the school kits, displays at the building, hospitality, overseeing fundraisers. Mrs. Gowan has always carved out endless hours to train and support her teachers and students in other meaningful and lasting ways. That is the kind of staff we have. Thank you. Mrs. Gowan has been part of the mindful duo with Mrs. Fay, and together they have played an integral role in introducing, supporting, and celebrating the tenets of mindfulness. Through their building assemblies, yoga lessons, and march pauses, Mrs. Gowan has assisted in developing skills to relax, reset, and develop a mindset. Woodruff students have for certain benefited from these experiences. Additionally, Mrs. Gowan has played another key role in capturing those special moments at Woodruff for our fifth graders. Mrs. Gowan and her husband have created the Woodruff promotion video for the past few years, which is a compilation of years gone by captured in song and picture. Mrs. Gowan, our appreciation is deep-rooted, and we thank you for always lending a hand, teaching a new skill, and being true friends to Woodruff. We thank you for always, always, always giving. Mrs. Nasto? There are those individuals who are willing to give of themselves in every action daily. They're what I would refer to as the big picture people who see the possibilities and then seek to make them a reality. Mrs. Nassau, our secretary, is just that. She's given of herself to serve on the board in many capacities over the year, including co-president. Her ability to say no, thank you has benefited Woodruff for many, many years. Mrs. Nassau's affable personality, her leadership style has always observing, suggesting, and then doing the legwork to make it happen. This was seen last spring when COVID hit and closed us down. There was no way the fifth graders weren't going to feel special on promotion day. She worked to orchestrate the chalk wall the lawn signs, the balloon arch, the car parade, to the joy of the students. It's that same commitment and fortitude that she has shared this year with the support of the first Thanksgiving Day turkey trot. Our Happy Feet support meant t-shirts for all the students, awards of feet and for the miles, and a virtual Memorial Day run. Making it special is in Miss Nelson's jeans, which was seen as she facilitated the Woodruff Flag, created the fifth grade picnic, celebrated the Woodruff fifth graders with their t-shirts, and rooted from the bleachers at the kickball game. Truly, Miss Nesta, the mantra, if there is a will, there is a way, you live it. You have gone way beyond for many, many years at Woodruff. We thank you for saying yes, for guiding us forward, and for sharing your gifts. Thank you, thank you. Mrs. Farrow and Mrs. Terrero, could you kindly come forward? As we move through life, we realize there are people that are talkers, some dreamers, and some doers. Doers are often hard to find, especially when the need is tremendous, involves a high level of commitment. Woodruff was faced last spring with not having a PTO president to lead our community. This situation added to the already devastating situation associated with COVID. Over the years, the PTO has always been able to recruit parents to serve, but this was not the same times. The parents who served in the past were often second through fourth grade parents who had several children and were vested in the school for years to come. The PTO recruiting efforts were not being heard until two fifth grade parents, each with only one child, decided to team up and ensure that this year would be the best it could be for all. Mrs. Farrow and Mrs. Terrera have duly kept Woodruff on course throughout the year. Together, these moms joined hands to be a dynamic support team to the Woodruff students and staff. They've wanted their years of unknowns to be filled with memories that would last a lifetime. They sought to make that happen, and thanks to their abiding efforts, many wonderful experiences occurred. Through their support, we had virtual authors in school professional programs, we had a Happy Feet program, and many virtual Happy Feet runs. Through their leadership, we were able to provide many lasting memories to the Woodruff community. An area that was top on their list was the continued development of diversity, equity, inclusion experience in the school. Their commitment seen in various ways, from instructional materials for the classroom, supportive programs, and the Culinary Delight Cookbook, highlighting the diversity of our community. Mrs. Farrow and Mrs. Terrero's leadership was felt at the district level as they communicated their thoughts and their vision. Their support of the staff is second to none. Throughout the year, they arranged lunches, created opportunities for the students to praise their teachers, and ensured that all were recognized in a special way for their devotion to the students. Both moms were only a phone call away to discuss the situation and find a solution. Mrs. Farrow and Mrs. Terrera have led with their minds and their hearts, and they have helped to continue to make Woodruff a great place to learn and grow. I thank Mrs. Farrow and Mrs. Terrera for being available at all hours, being open to new ideas, being creative, making those food runs to St. Joseph's, and providing so many wonderful memories. Thank you for leading us through the rough waters, always knowing there was land ahead. Thank you for partnering with the PTO, the chairs, the families, and the staff. Woodruff could never have done it without your talents. And thank you for giving a hoot. The Woodruff community salutes all our PTO board members, our chairs, our volunteer committee members. Thank you for all of you for volunteering, answering the commitment to Woodruff School. Thank you for giving a hoot. Flag Day is a day where Americans celebrate with great pride and Thanksgiving. It is also the day at Woodruff School that we gather with pride and appreciation for our staff members who will no longer be part of Woodruff School. This is the first time in the history of Woodruff School that we get to this part of the program and we say goodbye to almost everybody in the building. So I feel I'm going to ask your indulgence. I think it's important for us to have that moment to express our Thanksgiving to each of our staff members who have given so much of themselves over the year, and to honor them today. In a couple of days, Woodruff will be closing its doors to grades 3 through 5. This change comes 60 years after it opened its doors in 1961 to grades K through 6. This is a monumental change for all the students, staff, and the community. It is a time to remember the memories of years gone by and welcome the opportunities of a new school in September. The time is also a time of thanksgiving to our teachers, paraprofessionals, and support staff who have shared their talents, their expertise, their passion, their love of learning, and working with students. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to recognize each staff member who will be leaving for a new school in September. First person I'd like to invite forward is Ms. Chang. Ms. Chang's time at Woodruff has only been a few months. During that time, she opened our ears and our minds to music in new ways. She taught us about the great composers and singers and provided us time to explore and develop our own music. Ms. Chang's knowledge is great, and we wish her the best as she moves forward to share music with all. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Chang, for giving a hoot. The next person I'd like to honor is Mrs. Lowenstein. As you spend time in education, you're able to observe the finest of teachers, and you're able to observe the finest of teachers are not always the ones that have a degree in hand. This definitely reflects the career of Mrs. Lowenstein for close to 2 decades. Her position title of paraprofessional, but any teacher who has been afforded the opportunity to have Mrs. Lowenstein in her class knows she performs like that of a co-teacher. She instinctively knows how to motivate, jumpstart, and hit the refresh button for her students. She can instruct a small reading group, break down a multi-step math problem, and get her students to generate ideas for a writing piece. She knows her students like her own and is invested in their success. She sees the big picture and wards off the obstacles that might get in the way of learning. She can deliver a lesson, be a confidant, paint a backdrop for a drama production, resolve a recess conflict, navigate Zoom. Mrs. Lowenstein has been part of the fabric of Woodruff School for many, many years, and she is deeply thanked for always having her arms outstretched to help. Thank you, Mrs. Lowenstein, for always giving us a I'd like to invite Mrs. Sabella if she could come forward, please. Mrs. Sabella has come to bat for Woodruff students for many years. She is able to assist academically and develop a rapport that allows her to motivate her students to do their best. She's the type of para that can read a situation and jump in with assistance. She doesn't like to be asked, but it instead is by the student side, providing the added support that will make the connection and build the understanding. Her caring and friendly manner assists in building a rapport with the students to encourage them to take risks. Mrs. Sabella has always been only a few steps away to support a student, teacher, or a special event in the school. Mrs. Sabella is thanked for always providing the best for her students and for always being there and giving a hoot. Thank you, Mrs. Sabella. Mrs. Corbone, could you come forward, please? Mrs. Corbone seems to have an aura around her, as every day she comes to school with a wonderful smile on her face, even wearing the mask, that expresses everything is possible if you believe. The way she greets the start of the day remains with her throughout the day. Her rosy and upbeat optimism is welcomed by the students as they seek her assistance to tackle the hard math problem or respond to writing during reading. She's always there to provide the right dose of encouragement, balanced with independence. Mrs. Carbone is a doer. She denies herself any downtime. When she has a moment free, you will find her in the office providing some secretarial support. Her willingness to give, her ability to get to know her students, and her forever bubbly personality is appreciated by all. Thank you, Mrs. Carbone. Thank you for always giving us. Ms. Apicella, would you please come forward? Ms. Apicella only began at Woodruff at the end of January. However, her presence has been felt like she has been in second and third grade all year long. Her ability to plan and collaborate readily seen. Her talents lie in the rapport that she builds with her students and knowing how best to teach, encourage, and motivate them to believe in themselves. Ms. Apicella is thanked for her flexibility, her willingness to always adapt and do what's best for the students. She is wished the best in her new position in the fall and thanked for her continued devotion. Thank you, Ms. Apicella, for always giving a hoot. Ms. Spiderneck, could you kindly come forward? Our counselor, Mrs. Spiderneck's time at Woodruff has been brief, but that time she has played a significant role in making sure that all of us were feeling well. Her natural ability to connect with students allowed her to provide support necessary when one was not having such a great day and just needed someone to share with. Mrs. Spiderneck's ability to connect was seen as she worked one-to-one, small group during game club and as part of the school-wide events. Her care, concern, and ideas always helping us to grow socially and emotionally. We know Mrs. Spiderneck's kindness and talents will be seen as she begins her career as a full-time counselor in the fall. Thank you, Mrs. Spiderneck. Thank you for always giving a hoot. The next several people that I'm going to share are not, unfortunately not in our building today, but I do want to share this information. Mrs. Bartlett has been our band and general music teacher over the years. She's been instrumental in teaching us the joys of music. Her vocal concerts will be remembered for the wonderful student performance, including the movements and the props. Her lively and celebrated band concerts and all the extra and unique opportunities she has imparted over the years through small ensembles and patriotic performances will always be treasured. Thank you, Mrs. Bartlett, for sharing your love of music with all. Thank you for giving a hoot. Bringing the world of art to the students has been Mrs. Hanselman's passion. Her skills as an elementary teacher, along with her vast knowledge of arts, has provided the students with an experience to be remembered. Her creativity, ability to capture the students' interest, and her desire to bring out the artist in each child will always be recalled. Mrs. Hanselman's fun-loving spirit, encouraging ways, has permitted every child to see what they too are an artist. With the help of Splatter, every student learned that art has no limits. Thank you, Mrs. Hanselman. Thank you for always giving a hoot. Mrs. Schiffel. Mrs. Schiffel has been teaching computers at Woodruff well before anyone even thought of putting an iPad, I don't even know if there was an iPad, or a Chromebook into every student's hand. She has been at Woodruff's tech guru for decades, troubleshooting classroom situations and developing a foundation of skills in word processing and multimedia presentations. Anyone who knows computers knows that everything is taught is multi-step and must be followed to be successful. Mrs. Schiffel's ability to break it down step by step, model it, and then have the opportunity for students to practice with real life application was always present. She will be remembered for her culminating poetry, menus, graphing, and character projects. Mrs. Shipple is thanks for her upbeat personality, her quote of the week, and her willingness to lend a hand. Thank you, Mrs. Shipple. Thank you for always giving a hoot. Mrs. Massery. Mrs. Massery has been on a journey, or should I say quest, for years. Got that, huh? She has been the teacher at Woodruff who has led the students to think deeper, collaborate more, and cooperatively brainstorm solutions. As an enrichment teacher, she has sought to challenge her students to reach high, settle for nothing, and always seek to do your very best. Through her various thematic units, students have visited Mars, became pilots, created rockets, learned the intricacies of hydroponics and biometry, along with building sustainable bridges. Mrs. Massery has provided opportunities for her students to test their logic, reasoning, and problem-solving skills through noetic math, and to use those skills as part of STEM projects. Mrs. Massery is thanked for opening the minds of her students to new possibilities. She is thanked for always giving a hoot. Mrs. Swan. Mrs. Swan's gentle approach and ever-present smile has always made not so good day seem that much brighter. Her one-to-one counseling, lunch bunches, classroom lessons, and game club have assisted the students in developing skills, making friendships, and gaining confidence. She is thanked for always partnering to create many school-wide mindful gratitude and kindness themes. Thank you, Mrs. Swan. Thank you for giving a hoot. Mrs. Liss, would you kindly come forward? Reading and Mrs. Liss are synonymous. She's been the teacher that has always been there to break the code and open the door to the world of adventures and pleasures in reading. She's taught us how to tap, sound, swoop letters to pronounce words, along with how to mark up, rhyme, and the rules to learn. She has dibbled, leveled, and did picture walks and found the just right book to practice fluency and build understanding. She's been a reading support to all and who has led us in Read Across America. Mrs. Liz, soft-spoken and her genuine manner, along with her willingness to always lend a hand and support, will be greatly, greatly missed. We thank you for teaching us the ABCs so that we could grow as readers and express our ideas in writing. Thank you, Mrs. Liz. Thank you for being here. Mrs. McLeod. Meeting the needs of each and every student has been the focus of Mrs. McLeod. She's been the teacher to help one to learn the math facts, solve the math problems, write a good lead in closing, and know the proper grammar and mechanics. She's provided individual academic support and at the same time built one's confidence and belief that anything is possible if you work hard. Her support is easily seen as she pushes into the classrooms and collaborates with the teachers. Her dedication to Woodruff was revealed in her lead replacements in grade 3 and 5, the running of the ST Math Club, Writing Club, and this year our student council. Mrs. McLeod's willingness to give was always present. She is thanked for always lending a hand, for being there for the students, and for her willingness to support all. Mrs. McLeod is thanked. She's thanked for always giving the hoop. Mrs. Dagon. Some people's contributions are measured over a lifetime, while others are almost instantly evident. The latter is most definitely true of Mrs. Dagon. Mrs. Dagon came to Woodruff just 2 years ago as a seasoned teacher with a wealth of knowledge. From the moment she stepped into the building, she has been the added ingredient that has made the third grade experience that much more hearty and tasty. Mrs. Dagon knows how to provide structure with care, learning with fun, and activities that provide practice and challenge. She knows her students and willing and willingly adapts, modifies, and accommodates to bring out the best in each. Her influence was felt outside the classroom with her You've Been Wooed bulletin boards and laughter that she has shared with all over the years. Thank you, Mrs. Begon. Thank you for always giving a hope. Mrs. Murray, could you join us? Mrs. Murray is one of those teachers you may not have the pleasure to know until you're in class. And once you know her, you enjoy each day. Mrs. Murray always wants to help each of her students to feel good about themselves and give it their best. She knows the best way to achieve this goal is to connect with her students. She does this by developing lessons that tap into the students' interests, current trends, uses video clips, and aligns perfectly with a fourth grader to make them happy. Mrs. Murray is a planner who always is searching for that perfect connection. Emoji classroom, Pixar clips, the hoots and Jamboards all assist in bringing the learning forward. Serving others through making sandwiches and baking cakes and being a pen pal with friends in Plainfield are all part of the experience and pride in her classroom. The 50 Nifty state plays, the flow parades will always be fondly remembered. Thank you, Mrs. Murray, for making learning so much fun. Thank you for giving us. Mrs. Delator? There are certain experiences you will have as a member of Mrs. Delator's class. You'll learn how to become organized, how to learn independence, and how to develop responsibilities. Your experience will not stop there. You'll also learn the importance of giving to others through the Appalachia Project, baking cakes, making sandwiches for the homeless, and being pen pals with the students in Plainfield. Mrs. Delator is a planner, and her plans for each student is to move them as far as she can each year. Her passion in teaching is best seen in writing workshops as she infuses those mentor texts to learn author crafts. In reading, she gets her students to think deeper, delve into book clubs, and partner shares. Working together, acceptance, and building empathy are all part of the lessons instilled in her class. Mrs. Delator is thanked for her inspirational drama productions, patriotic flow parades, and for building character. She's thanked for being Mrs. Delator. Thank you. Thank you for always giving. Mr. Reel? Anyone who's ever had the opportunity to be in Mr. Reel's class, you know the word pumped, energized, enthusiastic are descriptions that define Mr. Reel. Each and every day, he looks for a way to connect from the responses to the start of the day questions, his Friday announcements, and March Madness events. He is always searching for a way to rally the troops to get them psyched about learning. Mr. Reel's ability to build a rapport is readily seen. He is each student's coach and biggest fan. Mr. Reel is always there to guide, direct, and support his students. He plans lessons, creates neat activities like the Hidden Child Project with the goal of getting the students to want to make it spicier and go for the ultimate flame. Mr. Reel is the real thing. His care and concern, his commitment ever present, and his team attitude always known. Thank you, Mr. Reel, for casting your success over the years and making Happy Feet so much fun. Thank you, Mr. Reel, for always giving me. Mr. Waller, could you kindly come forward? Bringing history to life has been Mr. Waller's calling. His background in media, his passion for teaching social studies has extended beyond the pages and the book to the stage in Mr. Waller's classroom. Mr. Waller recognizes that to understand history, you can't just read it. You need to experience it. He has done that through Columbus trials, Explorer presentations, and the reenactment of the Boston Tea Party. The students become the figures in it and understand the event. Mr. Waller's personal skills as a writer has moved his students to express their thoughts, especially related to character. The character trait writing assignments and the end of the year character videos has always been a motivating staple in his class. Mr. Waller is thanked for the time invested over the years, for being safety patrol advisor and being there for each and every one of his students. Mr. Waller is thanked for always, always giving a hoot. Mrs. Berger, could you kindly come forward? Mrs. Berger's talents as a teacher are far-reaching. She began her career a decade ago, a few days before the start of the school year in grade 2, and has found her home teaching 5th grade. Mrs. Berger is a caring, nurturing teacher who believes in her students and wants to help each of them to hit their stride. Her skills as a teacher are best seen as she creates lessons that are high interest and intriguing to her students. Her hidden project with Mr. Reel has become an experience like no other, where the students are transformed into the characters in the book and write their own pages. Mrs. Berger's ability to get her students to think, reflect, and respond is second to none. She knows how to ask the questions that will cause the students to delve deeper, analyze more, evaluate the situation. She knows when to ask the follow-up questions to spawn a discussion. Mrs. Berger has not only shared her talents in the classroom, but also on stage as drama coach, green team, and writing advisors. Mrs. Berger is thanked for always having a smile and being there for her students. Thank you, Mrs. Berger, for always giving. Mr. Grego, are you here? Okay. Well, the speech is not here. I don't know why, but I'm going to just talk about Mr. Grego for a minute. Mr. Grego has been part of our music department for many, many years. He has brought the strings program to such a high over the years. Every year, more and more students have learned how to play the violin and cello. His energy, his flair, his style, his commitment to the students has been tremendous. So we just want to thank Mr. Grego for all of his great, great work. Thank you, Mr. Grego. The last person that I'd like to honor today is Mrs. Vassal. As we have all journeyed through life, there are people we meet that make our lives richer by their presence. It's not what they do, but more how they do it. They seem to instinctively know how to immediately connect and make you feel special and welcome. These type of people are the precious pearls that help us navigate new territories or serve as a beacon light to light the way. Woodruff School has one of those precious radiant gems for the past 25 years, and her name is Mrs. Vassal. Mrs. Vassal has been Woodruff's lighthouse keeper for every child, parent, staff member who needed a helping hand along the way. She's been there with a smile, warmth, and knowledge to ensure that your questions were answered, needs met, and when you left with a smile too on your face. Mrs. Vassal's talents as a secretary are exceptional. She's like that of a juggler in the circus, keeping the dishes spinning and moving at the same time and ensuring that everything else meets the grade A standard. Her due diligence, attention to details, and her talents as a secretary in technology, as a webmaster, and along with always finding time to serve the staff and the PTO. This by no means has ever been an easy task, with the compelling forces always present. She has always understood the ebbs and flows and found the way to navigate and ensure that Woodruff was on calm seas. The students sought her shores to share a story or find an adult to listen to their concerns. The staff ventured to the office for guidance about school and life, as well as just a respite from the classroom. Mrs. Vassal always making it a priority to serve others. Her friendly and upbeat personality, her fun and loving ways, coupled with her sense of humor and tear-causing laughter, will fondly be remembered by all. Mrs. Vouse's calling was to be part of Woodruff team, and she imparted her own personality in so many ways, whether that was the month-long planning with Mrs. Roosh to fashion the most imaginative Halloween costumes ever. From the 60s Volkswagen minivan to bumblebees and superheroes, her artistic juices were always pumping. Mrs. Vouse's love of America was always seen in the forefront, as yearly she adored her USA tiara with a flag in hand, and she and Mrs. Roosh proudly served as the grand marshals for the Grade 4 float parade. Mrs. Vousel has been the hub of Woodruff and is the finest ambassador. She has given so much to Woodruff over the years. She's been my right hand and my left. She has rallied the troops, encouraged the community, and given of herself for Woodruff. She's an exceptional person, secretary, a trusted confidant, and a dear friend. We have all benefited tremendously to have Mrs. Vousel on the Woodruff team with her far-reaching arms always willing to embrace. Mrs. Vousel, you've had an extraordinary career and left us with a wealth of memories. Thank you for always being there in the best of times and those times that tested our hearts and souls. Thank you for sharing and giving so much of yourself. I am so grateful and appreciative for having you by my side to light the way. Thank you. We are all blessed to have shared the journey with us. Thank you for making Woodruff School a great place to learn and grow. We wish you many, many years of joy, happiness, and health in your retirement. May your days be filled with love shared with your little grandson, your family, and friends. Thank you, Mrs. Vousel. Thank you for always giving a hoot. I want to thank you all for your indulgences this afternoon. I'd like to thank.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We have one more person that needed to come up to speak first. The PTO would like to say a few words.
Good morning. First, I'd like to say thank you to the other members of the executive board, the parents, the volunteers, the faculty, the staff, and all the students. This has been a challenging year, I think, for everyone. And it was a pleasure to serve on the PTO executive board and watch everyone move through this year triumphantly, confidently, and being their very best self. When we got the call that Mrs. Gasparini was retiring, I think that it's fair to say that all of us here on the executive board were saddened. But while we were saddened by that news, we were also very joyous for her. 37 years as a public servant, a leader, someone who gives a lot of people direction. I think that everyone here knows she has touched everyone's child, all of our homes, all of our families, and the community at large. It is no small feat, and it should be celebrated. She is a woman of courage, of dedication, that is constantly instilling in all of our children respect for themselves, for their parents, for their fellow classmates. She is constantly telling them to be kind, to be their very best self, to have integrity, to have honesty. These are all character traits that we want our children to have moving forward in the future. Being able to work with her alongside with the PTO, I know has changed my life, my perspective, and has me constantly reaching higher as a person. For that, all of us standing up here, we want to say thank you to Mrs. Gasparini for all that she has done for Woodruff School, the Berkeley Heights District, and community at large. We celebrate you today. We celebrate your retirement. We are wishing you all of the absolute best that retirement has to offer. This is not the end of her legacy. This is just the beginning of a new chapter. Thank you, and we appreciate you.
Wanted to share with everyone a couple of little things that we're working on to keep her legacy going. For one thing, everyone's going to be receiving a cookbook tomorrow. We dedicated this cookbook to her. She pushed me very hard to make this happen. And so the dedication reads, this cookbook is dedicated to Patricia Gasparini, the current William Woodruff Elementary School principal for the 2020-2021 year. She is an exceptional educator and leader, as well as an incredible advocate for children. She encourages the children at Woodruff to be your very best self and challenges them to have good character through acts of kindness. Thank you for your incredible support to our community. I also want to share with everyone that the PTO Executive Board felt that it was important to also continue the legacy here at Woodruff. And so there's going to be a bench that is dedicated to Miss Gasparini, and it's going to come from all the families of the 2020-2021 community.
I don't know what to say, but all I can say is thank you. Really wasn't going to do this. Retiring was a really, really hard decision to make. And the first part of the hard were all of the boys and girls that are here. Because I really enjoy coming to work every day and being with you, and seeing you smile, going in the class and seeing you being successful and chit-chatting in the hall and just sharing with each other. It makes my heart happy every single day. I'm going to miss the staff, who's absolutely tremendous, that I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to hire most of those people. The parents know you can't do better with the staff that's here at Woodruff School. And they are just absolutely amazing, passionate, caring educators that have always been part of the team to do whatever is necessary. And my thankfulness goes out to each and every one of you. Thank you. It would never be enough if I didn't have the parents that are here and the parents that have supported over the years, because the school is nothing unless we're in it together and we have the same vision. And I have been so blessed in all the years as a sixth grade teacher here in the beginning, all the way through to this day, to have amazing moms and dads to support. Support doesn't mean that we always agree on everything, but support does mean that we come together and we do what I think we've tried to do every single day, is what's best for your child and what's best for the students of Woodruff School. So my heart goes out to all the families. I thank you for your partnership. I thank you for your support. I thank this wonderful community. It has truly been an honor to be here all these years. And I thank God for having to be here as long as I've had. So Thank you, and I appreciate all this kindness today. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you. Just closing our program today, I just want to thank our Cub Scouts, Dom and Micah and Mr. Levon for helping us out with posting colors, Ms. Chang for the music, Mr. Power, Mr. O'Dowd for all the extra setups that we did today, Mrs. Ellis for the program. Our flag speaks to all of us about the pride that we hold for our troops and the pride we hold deep in our hearts as Americans. It is an unwavering symbol of freedom, unity, faith, and hope. Our forefathers understood it, and we understand it today. Much gratitude and recognition to all the men and women who daily serve our country and continue to make it the land of the free and the brave. Let us never forget our finest symbol of courage, unity, and hope. We are proud to live in the United States of America. We are proud to be an American, and that starts in our hearts and is spread throughout. I ask us as we close our Flag Day Assembly today, if we would all join in singing God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Great job, everyone. Let you know that tomorrow is a Woodruff School Spirit Day. It's a Give a Hoot Day. It's a special day of celebration before we have our big 5th grade day on the last day of school. So wear your Woodruff colors, wear those Happy Feet shirts, and celebrate Woodruff tomorrow. Thank you for everyone for an absolutely wonderful program today. Thank you for your time.
Either. I didn't have a drink. All right.